So top block, which means I'm going to go for armbar because it's really hard to go for an armbar in no gi when there's not a lot of grips and stuff like that. So your partner's being good, right? You try to pull them in, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but you can reach up and go for the head. If you go for the back of the neck, he can still posture up with his head. I want to go here, like cupping the back of his head. And now my left hand is going to go right here on the elbow because he doesn't want his elbow on the inside. This is better for me. This is better for him, right? And he also doesn't want to have his hands on the ground because then I can overwrap or start breaking posture. So left hand goes on the elbow. I'm going to bridge up. As I drop my hips, I'm going to redirect his elbow on the inside of my hip. If I need to do a couple, I can. It just needs to go on the inside of that hip here. So now, to go up to top block or high guard, you have two options. One is you can step, pinch, and then start to climb your way up. And notice how I'm over this shoulder. I'm keeping the elbow, and I want to pinch like this. The other option is bridging here. Is just going straight up. Right? So I'm keeping it nice and tight. So what can we do from here? We're going to go to two basic submissions by keeping our legs here. First one, we're going to go to the wrist. We're going to pull it over our hip and bridge up and tilt to our right side like this. So it's almost like Americana. The second option is 2-on-1, and I want to bring it here. Like here, you can, but I like to go more towards my hip, pinching, bridging up, and then pulling and finishing. Good. So head, elbow, bridging, cross. Depending on what you like. I think taller guys like to go like this. I'm a little shorter. I like to just hop right up. Right? I like to keep the head. You can release it. Go 2-on-1 here. I like to keep the head here, keep the posture. Go to the wrist and then finish. Or bridge up and go right to it. That's what I'll do. Now one without talking.
Tap. Tap.
And then the other one, sorry.
Tap.
So one more time. Head, right? The back of the head is good, right? Like a false grip. Right here on that big lump that Artem has it. Nobody likes, they told me, Artem. So elbow, I bridge, redirect. I go up, climb over that shoulder, and then clamp in. I want to secure this one. Not like this, because this is the one where he's going to be pressuring in to get that shoulder back. I like to clamp over the top of that and pinch it nice and tight like this. So he should be almost tapping from here. And then 1, and then 2. Right? Okay. Any questions?
Can I see it 2 more times?
I would love to. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So, again, right here, bridge in, coming up, right? Walking and clamping. So let's say I don't like this finish because I'm rolling with Julian and I can never get an armbar. So when you're here, I want you to switch your hands, framing and capturing that wrist, and I want to rotate my feet like this to create an angle. Then I frame on his head, I pass it low, and I keep it nice and tight. Two mistakes I see is the cross. This is easier for him to stack me because I only have one point of contact right there, right? So, or I'm just not even pinching my feet down and then he can just pull it out or he can start driving in. So make sure that when you have this arm, right, clamping down on the head here, like this. So this is different from this. This is harder for him to posture up with this. Now I can just finish 2-on-1 and finish the armbar. So what he'll do from here is he'll start pressuring in and pull out this arm, right? So I can secure this. You might think I'm going for triangles, so he'll posture up, right? And I'll hook. My leg is gonna go over the top and I'm gonna go, my shoulder goes like this. So my hips are up and my shoulders are. I'm not like collapsing like this. All my weight is on this arm and I'm pinching. Then I go 2-on-1 and I can finish. So you good, Artem? Yeah, Artem's fine. So bridging here, I'm going up. I'm switching my grip because if I'm here, it's hard for me to push with my right hand to create space here. I want to go closer with my left And as I pivot, I can create space, come over the top and clamp. Then I can just bridge up and finish here, or go 2-on-1. He pulls out that arm, right? I'm gonna keep this trapped. He starts to posture up, I hook. And so I don't wanna just go here because he can stack me and start putting pressure and then pull out his arm too easily, right? And especially if I'm like low, I wanna bring my leg around and then elevate my hips up, go 2-on-1, and now I'm hanging on the back of his head, clamping, and my left foot is right here on his neck, pinching. And this is where his elbow is. If you don't bring your hips high enough, it's like this. And now I lost the elbow completely. So bring your hips high enough here and then finish. Do another one without. Here. Okay, one more. Bridging. You can walk up, nice and tight. Switch, pivot, over. So clamping, foot comes out, not here. There's a different. Arm, do you feel a difference between here and here? Right? I finish, or he pulls out that arm. Bring this across. He postures out because he doesn't want the triangle. I'm hooking. Throw my leg over and then finishing. Okay. Any questions? All right. 1, 2, 3. Right. Bridging, directing. We're switching here. So he starts to pressure and he pulls that arm out. Right. So I see a lot of people losing the triangle here because they're just trying to immediately, start to cross their feet, and then they start getting pressured, stacked, and then they start losing that position there. So when you're in the arm bar, here, and then he pulls out that arm, it's important to, right, you can cup this if you need to, but what's more important is keeping your heel clamped down and then bringing your knee to your heel like this. This will help. Now you can start to control the head. And then from here, we're just gonna pendulum and rotate our knees away. And once that happens, we're gonna get our angle this way to get our angle. Now I have my heel to my knee on the other side, and all I have to do right now is just lock up my legs, and it's there. I don't have to do anything else, right? So, bridging and going high, switch, and over. So if you want to cup this, that's fine, right? You're cupping, keeping the head, and then you just rotate your heels to your right side here, keeping that posture broken. And now I have the angle, I can just open up and lock. Okay, so let's go over a little bit of finishing details. So your left foot needs to be flexed up when you're locked. And for a standard triangle, your foot is gonna go over the back of the neck. You're locking with your foot up tight and you're clamping down. And when I say pinching and squeezing, you're pinching your knees together and squeezing your legs like this to finish. What happens if you can't get a full lock and you're here? If you can't get a full lock, that's okay. I want you to pinch your knees together and rotate both of your feet to your right side like this, here. And you'll get a nice tight. And I don't have a full lock, right? So again, finishing, foot goes up, I'm clamping down, I'm controlling the posture, I'm pinching together and finishing, or I don't have it fully locked here, and I can pinch and start to rotate my feet to my right side and then go. So the last thing is, if your partner has a big shoulder. So let's say he has a big shoulder and I can't lock around it. So I want you to pull the head down, hook the leg, shoot your leg up, and then you can lock over the shoulder and finish. All right, so if they have a big shoulder and you feel like you can't go, we're gonna bring our legs up to it and then lock behind the head like this, and then finish. Okay, so from the top, pivot and go. You pull down, lock, finish, or I can do my shallow and go, or he has a big shoulder, I'm hooking, coming up, and then locking. Okay. Questions?
If you can't get through the bottom leg there to hook, is there something else you can grab?
You can hook the arm is fine. So So you're saying that when you're here, so you can't hook this.
Yeah,
You're saying, right? This isn't as important as the leg positioning, right? So if I can hook this is fine. If I need to get my hips up and I need to bring my right leg to the lock, because usually we're pulling down the lock and we're going. So if I can bring my right leg to the lock and then go, or really pulling my knee in and then locking, that's fine. I can do this. This just gives you a little bit better dive. So now it's harder for him to pressure in or posture up, and I can bring my knee in. But if you don't have access to that, hooking here, pulling, you're gonna swing up, bring that leg in, and then lock it. And it's fine to hook that. Okay, your partner please. 1, 2, 3.